I'm Shaq, and you're watching CNN 10.
Hey friends, I'm Maria Taylor, and you're watching CNN 10.
What's up, superstars? It is Tuesday, February 11th. I'm Coy Wire. Welcome to CNN 10, your 10 minutes of news where I simply tell you the what, letting you decide what to think. As you can see, I'm still here in lovely New Orleans, wrapping up some Super Bowl coverage. I'll be coming back to you from Studio Mañana. Now, we've got lots of news to get to today, not a lot of time to do it, so let's get to it. We start in North Korea, the reclusive state now set to let in tourists for the first time in 5 years. North Korea says the city of Rason, a remote economic zone in the north of the country, will be the first post-pandemic tourist destination open to Western tourists. The country's capital, Pyongyang, is still closed to foreign visitors. North Korea is a highly centralized, one-party totalitarian dictatorship where 3 generations of the Kim family have ruled with absolute power. Tourism has always been a highly restricted operation within the Hermit Kingdom, which sealed its borders in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Beijing tour operator Koryo Tours recently announced bookings would reopen with organized tours to Rason. As part of North Korea's special economic zone, Rason has operated differently than other places in the country as a testing ground for new economic policies. The city pioneered the country's first mobile network and card payment system. In a controlled visit to the city, visitors will see locations like factories, schools, art galleries, even a bank where they can open a North Korean bank account. The first tours are set to start on February 12th, around one of North Korea's biggest national holidays. Celebrations and parades are planned for the birthday of the country's late leader, Kim Jong-il. Bookings are open to visitors from all countries except for the United States and South Korea. Most tourists in North Korea have been from China and Russia. CNN's Will Ripley gives us a look at what the visitors can expect.
Even by North Korean standards, Rason is not exactly a tourism hotspot. A remote economic zone, closer to China and Russia than the capital Pyongyang. Rason is known for its shoe factory and banking system. There's also a textile factory and sea cucumber breeding farm. A typical workday includes outdoor exercise, weather permitting. In almost any other place, tourists probably wouldn't be lining up for the chance to open a bank account. But this is North Korea. The secret state has chosen Rason as its first post-pandemic destination for Western tourists, allegedly.
Will it happen next week? Entirely possible. But will it be delayed? Entirely possible.
Longtime tour operator Simon Cockrell knows there are no guarantees when it comes to North Korea. Simon's made nearly 200 trips. He says traveling there is not for everyone.
You're choosing a highly restrictive time in a very complicated country on a trip that your family will be worried about.
And some say for good reason. American college student Otto Warmbier was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor, accused of stealing a propaganda poster from his Pyongyang hotel. After 17 months in detention, he returned home in a persistent vegetative state and died days later. The State Department has banned U.S. tourists from visiting North Korea ever since.
What's the number one thing you tell people not to do when they visit North Korea?
Don't proselytize religiously. It's illegal. Don't break any law, regardless of whether you agree with it or not. Simple as that.
Not as simple, for some anyway. The question, should tourists go?
What do you say to critics who argue people's money is basically supporting a regime and its illegal nuclear program?
It's not really supporting any of those things because the state of North Korea does not stand or fall on tourism revenue. If it did, it would no longer exist.
For the past year, North Korea has only allowed Russian tourists to visit. Soon, maybe, a handful of visitors from the West, arriving just in time for one of North Korea's biggest holidays, the late Kim Jong-il's birthday. For now, only a handful of Western tourists are expected to be allowed back in if this happens. And we don't know if this is the beginning of a wider reopening or perhaps just an extremely limited test run, thus putting them in such an isolated city. But one thing that we are noticing is that Chinese tourists have yet to return, which is interesting because you have a lot of Russian visitors, but no Chinese tourists back yet since the pandemic. Some say that may be a sign of Beijing's growing displeasure with Pyongyang's deepening ties with Moscow.
Pop quiz hot shot, artwork by which famous artist currently sits on the moon? Salvador Dali, Andy Warhol, Yayoi Kusama, or Vincent van Gogh? If you said Andy Warhol, way to get her done. The Apollo 11 astronauts placed his drawing of the lunar module on the moon in 1969. Now to a first of its kind in the art world. Fine arts auction house Christie's is holding the first art auction devoted entirely to dozens of pieces created with the help of artificial intelligence. But while some see the auction as a next step for technology in the art world, many artists in the industry who claim their work was used to train AI models without credit are calling for it to be canceled. CNN's Linda Kincaid takes us inside Christie's New York galleries to learn more.
Striking and thought-provoking, it's not unusual for art to be critiqued, pondered, and sold to the highest bidder. But an upcoming auction at Christie's New York is pushing the boundaries of the art world, featuring only works created with artificial intelligence. The art sale, called Augmented Intelligence, consists of about 30 pieces that have been created or enhanced using AI tools, which Christie's says is a sign of the times.
So AI art is such an interesting topic and an interesting category now. It's really been surging in demand. We have clients that are interested from the blockchain and crypto community, but we've also seen a lot of demand from more high net worth individuals in the tech community.
According to Christie's, many of the works are expected to sell for tens of thousands of dollars apiece. Last year, a painting by an AI robot of World War II codebreaker Alan Turing sold for over $1 million at Sotheby's, surpassing initial estimates of $120,000 to $180,000. That's a lot of money and potential interest in a medium where there are still many questions over what role AI should have in art. Christie's says its auction will feature many top AI artists, some who describe their work as a collaboration with AI, but not driven by it.
It's definitely not a substitute for agency, and it is not a way to create more mediocre art quicker. It is a way to enhance what the artist can do and even push the boundaries of art and creativity into a completely new dimension.
It's cutting-edge creativity in the spotlight, where at least in this exhibit, code is a tool, just like a paintbrush. The online auction runs from February 20th to March 5th.
Today, we are giving a 10 out of 10 to the words of wisdom that lifted us up here at the Super Bowl. This weekend, at the red carpet of the Fanatics Super Bowl party, I told some of the celebrities and stars about all of you and CNN 10 and asked them to share their keys to success, and they had some awesome advice for all of you. Take a look.
Keys to success, something you might tell your younger self.
I would say that everything that makes you different is your strength. So anyone that tells you that you don't belong or that something is wrong with you, just know it's going to be the thing that makes you great in the end. So lean into it and be encouraged.
Something you tell your younger self, Shaq.
I tell you, listen to your mother and your father. I tell the same story to all these kids. I made $900 million just by listening to my mother and father. My father was a drill sergeant. My mother was a secretary. But they saw a vision of things that I didn't see. I'm seeing it now. So it starts there. I am who I am today because of my parents and only my parents, not because of no Dr. J or no Michael Jordan.
There's always a seed of good in everything. So focus on that, remain grateful, and you'll have an abundant life.
Alrighty, that's about all we have time for now. Before we go, hey, Walled Lake Central High School and our Vikings up at Walled Lake, Michigan, I see you. Thank you for making us part of your day. Also from Michigan, at Utica High School in Utica, rise up. I got to meet some of the chieftains right here in New Orleans at the Super Bowl. I see you, Tyler. Tomorrow is #YourWordWednesday, so follow me at CoyWire on socials and share your unique vocabulary word and the definition in the comment section of my most recent post. And the winner, well, you're going to help us write tomorrow's show. How about that? Rise up, make it an awesome day, everyone. I'll see you right back here tomorrow on CNN 10.